Hi everybody, this is Noah Hansen. If you don't know me already, I am the owner and the founder, the creator of A New Way with Noah, which is the conglomeration of value, of ideas, of insight and experience that we can share with one another in order to reach the next step forward on our journey, to move forward and to be motivated to keep going. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Today I am doing a review on The Four Agreements, which is a book filled with just very insightful wisdom, very good tips that we can use in every day of our lives. So I'll just go over the four agreements really quickly because I feel it's important for people to hear this, because it's helped me in my life. It's helped me to stay more conscious in every moment, to bring myself back to that place of authentic expression, to bring myself back to that place where I'm really, I'm able to be my best self. So I think it's an important book. If you haven't read it already, you can pick this book up. It's a pretty short read, not too long. Let's see how many pages. It's about 140 pages, and just chock full of good, insightful wisdom that actually comes from the Toltec, which is a ancestral Mexican, a group of people who were very tightly knit and applied these four agreements in their everyday life in order to sort of move forward on their journey and sort of make up the moral of their society. This book is also by Don Miguel Ruiz, everybody. Don Miguel Ruiz, who is actually a Toltec descendant and a very, very smart man. He knows how to put things simply, which is a sign of true wisdom. If you put things simply, the simpler you put things, a lot of times the wiser the teacher teaching it. So Einstein quoted at one point in his life that the true sign of genius, the true sign of intellect, is the true sign of wisdom is to take something complicated and make it simple. That's paraphrasing, but Einstein said something along those lines. To take something complicated and make it simple is a sign of true wisdom. And that's what this book does. It's something that anyone can understand, anyone can read and gain something from. So that's why I'm sharing The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz with you. Very good book. So I'm going to go over the first agreement now, which is be impeccable with your word. The word impeccable actually comes from im, which is Latin, which means without, and then peccatus, which is sin. Peccatus, meaning sin, sort of shows you that impeccable means to be without sin. And if you don't understand sin or have a good just understanding of what that is, sin is to basically miss the mark. Sin is to do something that is ultimately going to come back to us in a negative way, or come back to us in a way that it's not for our best interests at heart. So to miss the mark, to be without sin, is to be impeccable, and to be sinful is to not be impeccable. So to be impeccable with our word, that means everything that we think. It also goes along with what we think too. Everything that we say and everything that we think has an impact on the world around us. And to be impeccable with our word means that we are not putting anything out there that is not coming from a true, authentic place in our being, a place where we know we are acting on our best interests. To be impeccable with our word means to always think about what we say before we say it, and to take that pause. Even if you need to tell someone in front of you, I need to pause and I'll get back to you. To take that pause is very important. To realize that what you're about to say is going to be important. As long as it's said in the right way, we can make amazing impacts on the people in our lives, whether it's a stranger or a family member or a significant other. we can make significant changes if we are impeccable with our word. So that's the first agreement. The second agreement is to don't take anything personally. When we do not take anything personally, that means that we're not letting anyone or anything outside of us make us feel down about ourselves or make us feel like we need to defend ourselves in any way. Because if we are doing what we need to be doing, if we are impeccable with our word, then we don't need to take anything personally, because we know that we are doing our best. And when we do our best, even if someone does not like that about us, we know that that person cannot make us fall. That person cannot make us stop being the best version of ourselves. And though that person may be upsetting, that it may be upsetting that that person's criticizing us for doing our best, but we have to know that what is coming out of them, what is being expressed through their vessel, is really a reflection of what's inside them, not what's inside us. So people who like to hurt others and like to say things that are hurtful towards other people, really and truly deeply inside them are saying these things about themselves. So when someone is upset at someone for being the best that they can be, that could be jealousy because they don't feel like they're doing the same. That could be shame because they know they could be doing better. And it gets really complicated, it gets really complex, but this simple way to interpret it is everything is a mirror, and what we put out, we get back. So when they are hurting other people, they're essentially hurting themselves. And that's why we can't take anything personally, because we have to know that when they say those things to us that are hurtful, that they are trying to be hurtful, they're only going to hurt themselves, but they don't need to be hurting us. We don't need to let them make us any more negative or feel like we're less than who we are. Now, on to the third agreement. The third agreement is to never make assumptions. When you make assumptions, then what you're doing is you're being that person who someone might take it personally, what you're about to say. When you make assumptions, if those assumptions end up being wrong, then you might hurt someone's feelings. You might make someone feel too good about a situation. If you make an assumption that someone is being unhealthy, but they'll get out of it later down the line, but you know that what they're doing is unhealthy, then you're making the assumption that they can handle it, and sometimes people need a little help. So what I mean by that is a lot of people don't speak up when they see someone that is a good friend of theirs that is sort of wrapped up in a negative influence. They don't want to speak up and get in that sort of awkward situation just because they feel like their friend can handle it, when in reality that might not be the case. They might actually be needing real help. So that's just one example. Another example, the other way around, is that if we make an assumption about someone that is bad, if we assume that someone is a slob for dressing badly, or a slob for having a stain on their shirt, for example, and we immediately think that they're a slob because of that. We think that they're just a messy person, and something personal like that, some personal judgment placed upon them because of one thing. Well, that person might be blind. That person may not even know they have a stain on their shirt, and you just made the assumption that this person who could use someone telling them that they have a stain on their shirt and would change immediately, you just assumed that they were a messy individual when it's really may not be the case. So you can see why it may not always be right to make assumptions. Well, this book says it's actually never right to make assumptions. We should always source our information. We should always have resources where we can look to in order to find out the full story before we make any assumptions about what might be going on. So that's the third agreement. The fourth agreement is to always do your best. And to always do your best is pretty straightforward, guys. When we are always doing our best, it does not mean that we're always going to be productive. It doesn't really mean that. What it means is that, yeah, we may have some lazy periods. We may have some times when we are down, when we are getting down on ourselves or on other people even. If we're always doing our best, though, we are always able to catch ourselves when that moment arises. We're able to figure out and sort of see in our mental as well as our physical senses that what we are doing may not be our best. And as soon as we make that connection, we need to get back to doing our very best. And if we can continuously catch ourselves and sort of put up a wall of protection and go in a different direction, a direction that is our best, the best that we know how in that moment at least, then if we're able to do that, then it will be smooth sailing for us. It will be the growth of consciousness, the sort of growth of enlightenment, and the growth of authentic expression, of authenticity. The reality of who we really are will continuously grow, and to be able to be expressed into the world more and more often in every moment. And that's the goal we are shooting for, because when we are doing our best, we are being impeccable with our word. When we are doing our best, we are not making personal assumptions. When we are doing our best, we are not taking things personally. So to do our best means that, yeah, we may falter a little bit, but as soon as we catch ourselves, then we can get back to a place where we are not making assumptions or taking things personally, where we are being impeccable with our word in order to be the best person that we can possibly be. So as long as we are focused, as long as we are motivated to be our best, then we will be doing our best. As soon as our consciousness comes back to a place where we are able to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, am I doing the best I can do right now? Am I being impeccable with my word? Am I taking these things personally if we're getting upset? And if you catch yourself making an assumption about someone, then that will lead to growth in consciousness, to awakening, to success, to fulfillment, and to just happiness in everyday life, because we will know that we are on the right track. And to be on the right track and to know that intimately is a very, very awesome experience. And that is what I want for you guys. So remember, A New Way with Noah is a place where you can share your value on any subject that you feel like sharing your value on, and I will consider, as the admin, allowing that on the page. I will talk with you personally. I would if you want a one-on-one discussion, I am able to do that with you. If you would like to post a post, you can totally do that. You can comment, you can take a survey, you can vote for what subjects you want to hear about, and we can make things happen. We can draw in people about these different subjects that have a personal thing to input into these discussions. And remember, everybody, that your value in A New Way with Noah is A New Way with Noah's value back to you. So thank you for participating. I'm Noah Hansen. If you don't know me already, I'm the founder of A New Way with Noah, where we can really grow and move forward together. So thank you for watching. This has been a review on The Four Agreements, which is a very awesome book by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you for watching today, and have a great rest of your day.